everyone, welcome back to Life Library, where we share the inspiring stories and experiences of successful individuals. Today, we have a special guest, Thanakorn Jirapanpong, also known as Platinum, who successfully attended CICM at the top university in Thailand, Thammasat. Platinum, thank you so much for sharing your time to share with us your story today.
You're welcome.
First of all, Platinum, can you share with us your passions and the reasons behind choosing in this medical path?
So, I feel like medicine is quite interesting because the medical field is always ever evolving, and plus I can put my scientific interests into practical uses, which is very fulfilling.
Is there any specific area in medical that interests you?
I think neuroscience is quite interesting, so maybe in the future I might want to specialize in that path.
Yeah, right. So, do you have to take a normal medical course first before specializing in a certain area?
I'm not sure, but from what I've heard, I think it is true.
Okay. So, when backtracking when you were at Bangkok Prep, how did your subject choices in A-level influence your path to medicine?
Well, definitely, because medicine, first of all, I think the course requires lots of memorization, and by me taking biology A-level, it allows me to basically find a study routine and a method to basically memorize a large chunk of content.
So you take biology, and what are your other subjects?
So my other subjects are chemistry, physics, and math. Yeah.
So looking at your subjects right now, it all is kind of STEM-based and all definitely lead to medicine route. So after having done your summer predicted A-levels and you're currently taking your year 13, what are your experiences with every single subject? Do you mind sharing with the audience?
So my experience with these subjects are basically their ups and downs. So usually when I do well in one area of a subject,
the other
subjects are going downhill for some reason. So right now I'm trying to balance my study schedule to keep everything afloat.
That is definitely one of the key aspects I think is really important when you move on to A-level, is balancing your schedule. Because I just have started my A-levels and I already feel an overwhelming amount of pressure with the content, and this has just been 2 terms. So considering you're year 13, and is it normal, would you say, to be trying to balance the schedule and finding it hard?
I think for most people it might be the case, but for me it's definitely the case because I'm taking 4 subjects.
Right, so it's more than the average anyways.
Yes.
So moving on to your process right now, could you share the key elements that you need when applying to medical school?
So when you apply to medical school, first of all, in Thailand you have to take the BMAT, so it's an administration test, admissions test. For CICM, the school I applied to, there's no specific BMAT requirement. You just have to take it.
Right, so you don't need a specific score, or everyone just needs to take it.
And secondly, you need to prepare your portfolio. I think that's what really matters, because portfolio, it shows your character and your motivation when it comes to medicine, which is very important for them to see
who you are.
Yeah, who I am, and for the team at CICM to see which students do we want, which fits our criteria the most.
So why CICM? There's so many medical schools in Thailand.
It's because I come from an international school, and CICM offers a very strong international course, and it's the only one of them out there.
Oh, so are you saying that other medical schools in Thailand are mostly Thai-based courses?
It's a mix between Thai and English, so I've heard that basically examinations and everything is usually taught in English. But sometimes there's a Thai component into it.
Right.
For example, the professor might talk in speak in Thai, but teach in but the content
is in English.
Yeah, he's receiving this from English.
Oh, that is really interesting. So Platinum is implying that CICM is one of the most popular international curriculum course for medical schools. And when you mentioned about your portfolio being one of the most important aspect of your application, do you mind briefly describing to the audience how your portfolio looked like?
Oh, so portfolio, first of all, you have to include your like basically projects that you've done the past few years. So this could be like independent research on like a scientific project. It could be any like
activities,
you've
organizations.
done. And secondly, they want to see like your community service or volunteer work, which is very important to become like a doctor basically, because you have to help people.
Yeah.
And I think the next bit that's most important is basically your hobbies and extracurriculars. I think that shows like what type of person you are outside of school. Yeah.
Aside the academic curriculum, yes, of course. So in your case, do you mind briefly describing what activities or what requirements or organizations did you have in your portfolio?
Oh, my portfolio. So for activities, it's mainly like sports I've done the past few years. And for volunteering, it's just community service like I've done with my friend group.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's really interesting. So after you completed the BMAT test, which is a standardized test for everyone who's applying, do you think you kind of need to achieve a certain score, even though they didn't specifically say that you need to get a high score?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
So I think for CICM on average, it's like around a 12.
A 12. Oh, is that quite high compared to?
I think the highest around 21 or 22.
Right. Oh, okay. So is that the case for most of your friends? Is that what the average usually gets?
Yeah, the average usually gets around 12 in my school.
So out of these 12 people, 12 schools, would you say that everyone gets an interview after that? Or is there even an interview component?
Yes, there's an interview component, right? But I'm not sure like whether they base it off like our BMAT score or just the portfolio. Right.
So you're not entirely sure between which percentage or how much they weight each component of your application. So did you receive an interview after the test?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's so great to hear. So if so, what types of questions did they ask you during the interview? And I heard that the interview process of CICM is actually different for other universities.
Yes. So basically it's composed of like 6 sections.
Right.
So section 1 is basically just like talking about your school life and like what challenges you faced. Section 2 is basically the interviewer wants to ask us like odd questions.
Oh, just random questions.
Like, random questions that don't seem right at first.
What type of questions are these that you received?
One of the question is basically they'll ask you, why is the sky blue? And
why is the sky blue?
Yes.
What did you reply to that?
So I just talked about light and how it like how it changes frequency when it reaches the atmosphere. But that's because like I took physics, so I just based it off that. But I think what they want us to like show them that is we have to stand our ground. Right. And like not back down from like what we believe in.
Yeah, so the odd questions try and aim to get you a unique answer that tells you like who you really are and the way you think.
Yeah, that's basically it.
And then do you mind continuing explaining what the other sections are?
So between section 3 and 5, they're basically medical scenarios. You have to like act out or explain. Oh,
so they could ask you, what type of questions do they ask you?
So most of the time it's like about ethics.
Oh, the ethics behind like a medical procedure and stuff and like that.
Yeah, so, but the only part that's different from those 3 is section 3, because section 3 there's, I think, 3 pieces of paper and you have to like choose one.
You have to choose one to answer?
Yes. And then each paper has like a different scenario.
Do you think that's out of luck then? Because some papers are easier than others.
I think so.
Yeah.
So section 6 is an odd one because they give you like a piece of paper.
Oh.
And then next to us is basically like a picture or an art. And we have to like write down what we think or feel about that particular art.
Oh, so they're giving you an art piece instead.
Yes.
Okay, so are they trying to explore the creative aspect of the medical field, or what do you think they're trying to get out of in Section 6?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think that they want us to like show like how we perceive things, basically. Yeah.
And do you think there's a right or wrong answer to that?
No, but I think like the more unique, the better.
Right. Thank you.